And to Ebola preparedness now, where Dr. Frederick Eyase is principal researcher at KEMRI's Center for Virus Research, says early preparedness and strategic communication are key in fighting the spread of Ebola virus. Eyase, who spoke to Channel 1, says the government is right on track in establishing quarantine centers as well as building the capacity of health personnel and health systems in Ebola surveillance.
The Ebola virus has 6 different strains. They include the Zaire virus discovered in DR Congo in 1976 and which remains the most virulent. Sudan virus discovered in Sudan in 1976. Reston virus discovered in Virginia, USA in 1989. Thai forest virus discovered in Ivory Coast in 1994. Bundibujo virus discovered in Uganda in 2007, and most recently, Bombali virus discovered in Sierra Leone in 2018. According to a principal researcher at KEMRI's Center for Virus Research, Dr. Frederick Eyase, of all 6 strains of Ebola, 3 have resulted in disease outbreaks: the Zaire, Sudan, and most recently Bundibujo.
The nature of viruses is that they evolve. You never know in future.
The researcher warns that countries within the region are not safe, although at a lower risk. However, they need to put in place measures to prevent any eventualities.
No place is safe from any virus, and it's by, as we have said, because sometimes ecosystems go across borders, and also the nature of travel.
Dr. Eyase says Kenya is on the right track in putting in place both preventive measures through surveillance and early detection, as well as responsive measures through the establishment of quarantine centers were an outbreak to occur.
What the government is doing is right, in establishing areas that then if there is a problem, there are areas that can handle the problem, the outbreak if it comes in here. So the public should relax.
He is at the same time urging environmental conservation measures that ensure that contact between wildlife and humans is reduced.
It is to sort of respect the borders. The wildlife have certain pathogens that might become zoonotic or might cross into humans, some of which are unknown. That needs to be avoided.
The researcher warns that while there are Ebola virus strains that have never resulted into infections, the ongoing environmental degradation and clearance of forests coupled by the evolving nature of viruses could result in infections in future.
It's better to be ready so that if an outbreak happens, then you have the infrastructure to deal with the outbreaks.
He says the Ministry of Health and public health authorities, together with researchers at KEMRI, are working on ensuring that Kenyans are safe.
So the public, first of all, should not be scared about Ebola. Ebola is not like, SARS-CoV.
Judith Akolo, The Lunchtime News.